Hi guys, so here's the situation. I have this rock, this agate that I collected at Hector Hills recently that I cut open, um, and then I tossed these two halves into a tumbler for 1 week. And as expected, after it came out after 1 week, the corners were smoothened. I was hoping to just polish them completely by tumbling, but then after 1 week, I discovered that um, unknown to me at the time when I tossed it in, maybe I missed it, or maybe it happened as a process as a result of tumbling. But there are these like deep fissures or cracks, and here as well, that will trap grit. And so, this rock is not a candidate for moving on to subsequent stages of tumbling because these holes will trap the grit from the first stage, which might come out and ruin the subsequent stages, not just for this rock, but for all other rocks that tumble with it. So, so what to do? Do I throw this away? Then I realized that actually, it's now very smooth on the cut surface. Actually, on the back as well, but especially on the cut surface, it's very smooth. I had a look at the surface under the loop, and it looks really, really good. So I'm wondering if maybe I can save time and save these rocks just by polishing these sides, these faces directly on my flat lap, going straight to polish. Um, yeah, let's see how that goes. So I have here um, the soft pad of my flat lap. I'm putting some cerium oxide polish powder in various spots. This powder works better for me than the original like pink diamond paste that came with. I'm just using the rock itself to kind of smoosh the cerium oxide in, spread it around a little bit. All right, let's see how that goes. Can't really tell. Let's clean it off and see if it's getting a polish or not. Is it starting to shine at all? Not really. Maybe it needs a bit more time. This edge is starting to shine up, it seems. Okay, needs more time. Let's have a look here. looks like it's starting to get a little shiny. I'm gonna keep at it. All right, let's have a look. So this actually worked much better than I expected. You can see that the polish is actually pretty good. It's not perfect though, because after polishing, there are two problems here. You can see that some little pits became apparent. I missed them initially, but as you can see, like there's a bit of polish stuck in the little pit here. And there are some other small pits randomly distributed, like maybe you can see a little one here, and so on, if you look closely. So there are some surface imperfections that became apparent after polishing. And also, actually, if you look at the reflection, the boundaries of the reflection of the light in the surface of the agate, it's not very sharp. So the surface is not really as flat as I would like. It's certainly not as good a polish as what I would achieve, as what I can achieve if I either use the vibe or if I actually, polished manually going through all the stages of the different wheels. So I think what I might do is I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to go back and do, say, the 1200 wheel on it and then polish again and see if that changes things. All right, guys, so I'm done. I have to say, even though with the going back to the 1200 disc, I got better polish, but you know, not doing so is fine too. The polish is, is also really good, and it's a really great way to, to rescue a stone like this, with these deep holes on the back. So with a deep hole like this, another approach would have been to, like, two approaches that I know of. One would be to cut it off. You could, I could have cut this off with my saw and then retumble it. Another approach would be to grind it off uh, and then retumble it. Either way, removing that. Actually, a third approach would be like sometimes if it's if it's connected to a fracture, you could actually just use a chisel on it and chip it off. But yeah, either way, you're removing a piece of the rock and then retumbling, and that adds extra time to the process. So in this case, because this was kind of like a small piece of agate, kind of a little bit like a nodule that, and there's like skin and rough stuff on the outside, right? See all this like skin stuff on the outside. This was more about enjoying the inside cut surface anyway. So, rather than removing the this part with the hole and retumbling, I think it's easier just to polish the side and be done with it, because this is the main side we'd be looking at anyway, right? So I think this technique could apply to any kind of rock where you're primarily interested in the cut face. So about the cut face, I'm not sure how well this will actually work if this had been cut on a tile saw. Sometimes with a tile saw, you get a very uneven surface. So I'm not sure if even after going through 1 week of tumbling, it's possible that this surface is still sufficiently uneven that polishing on this soft pad won't really be able to get into all the grooves and give you a good polish. So in this case, this agate was cut on a lapidary trim saw, which produces very clean cuts. So it's very flat to start with. So I'm not sure if it will actually work if you cut something with a tile saw. right. So, anyways, having said all of that, um, I I would like to challenge you to see if you can identify which piece is the one that I use the 1200 um, pad on. The one like which one is the one that I went back to the 1200 on, and then repolished. Can you tell? Looking at the reflection of the light, yeah, it's this bottom one. You can probably tell that the reflection is actually sharper on the bottom agate than on the top one. Yeah, the top one is just a little bit fuzzier. Um, when I was looking at it earlier with my indoor light, um, which was like individual small LED bulbs, it was like staggering. The difference was just staggering. With this one, it was so sharp. It was like looking at a mirror, and this one was still the image was still quite diffuse. Yeah, so definitely going back to the 1200 pad really helped enhance the surface, flatten it some more, so that when I did use the polish pad on it, I got a much better finish. In fact, it's a like a perfect mirror finish. But having said that, I did notice that there was still a few tiny imperfections in the surface that the 1200 pad couldn't remove. From tumbling around in a tumbler for a week, all those bumps and collisions created little pits, tiny little pits. There are a few. There are a few. It's not too numerous. I think some of them were removed by the 1200 pad, but there are still some remaining. So, it's not perfect. This approach is not the same as if you just cut a rock with your lapidary saw and then, went through the process of, all flat lap wheels going from the coarsest to the finest to polish. That's definitely going to give you the best finish. But in terms of saving, rescuing a rock, like we said, that has these holes, I think this is a great process. And I think, my recommendation is it's optional. If you want to go back to the 1200 and then do the polish for a mirror finish, or if you just want to go straight to the polish for a pretty good finish that's comparable to what you would actually, get in the end with a vibe. So yeah, so that's it for today. I hope you found this helpful, and I'm really glad that I got to save a stone. I'll see you next time.